Okay, a bit of a late start for our Shadowrun game, but it is returning to our normal Wednesday night slot after taking 5 weeks doing a side story as a playtest.
Which was also just equally as fun.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry for the late start, partially my fault, Pedo and updating character.
Well, I had spent some time updating things in the background for people.
Yeah.
As you'll see, the character sheets are doing more and more. An example of updates is you'll see Jeremy now has a green gemstone suit that says what his suit does for him when he activates it.
Josh just saying I'll be on after 9 PM. There you go. He must be pretty quiet today.
So
when I just said the Q word for him, so never mind, I just ruined his life.
That's okay, we won't tell him, we'll just let him watch the video later and find out.
Yeah, he's gonna come home and he's be like, man, like after I said I get home at 9, everything went to shit.
I got called
I'll be
in.
like,
me. Got called in when you were almost home. How did that happen?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we are up to session number 62 in our storyline of Shadowrun starting in 2050, and we are 24 sessions into 2051 for season 2.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good. So at this point, Shadowrun is the longest per season, but your XP is far more than you would get in the other games.
Yeah.
So, today at the table we have Ariadna.
I play Shadow, a awakened elf, once corporate slave, but after trying to unsuccessfully in the end pull a Robin Hood in a corporate forest. And now a Shadowrunning arcanist, and apparently, according to my character sheet, a con artist as well.
You started off as a con artist.
I did not realise that was a part of my various titles.
That's the career you started off as, and the same career that Bolt started out as.
I was going to say, I'm not quite sure how I started out as a con artist, but apparently that's what I am.
Well, because you were conning the corporations.
Yeah, that you normally get that if you start embezzlement.
Let's not call it embezzlement. I like to call it redistribution of monies to...
Redistribution of funds.
Yeah, and that's what a con artist would actually say.
A more socially equitable manner.
Well, hey, in the last night's game, they actually met a successful con artist. Hondo Ondaka.
Oh, I was going to say, was that Hondo?
That was Hondo. Who lied with everything he said. Mistruth, half-truth, complete fabrication. They're all the same to him.
Yeah.
The only thing that was truthful was that, yes, that's where the vessel is.
That was pure chance that was actually correct.
Yeah, actually. I would go with that. Pure chance that was correct.
Sometimes he's right, sometimes he's not. More often he's not.
Like coincidental rather than chance.
So anyway. I appear as a tall elf, usually shrouded in a hooded cloak, especially if I'm out and about. My most noticeable feature is that I have teal eyes with purple irises. And so introduces Shadow.
Yes, and we do have a larger cast of characters up on the screen at the moment. Not that they're all here today. So, online today we have Ross.
Yes, I play the level one. Basically the troll that keeps the party alive. And He's actually been quite happy that he hasn't needed to do that on the previous runs.
Yes, there could be a lot of bad things happening.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you'll probably get your money back on that today.
Mm-hmm. On the plus side, he is starting to learn a little bit more with his classes and that. He's now starting on his trigonometry and his physics and that.
There's an awful lot of mathematics.
And I'm sure he's going to the conspiracy series greatly because he's taken Knowledge Forbidden.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not going to come back and bite him in any way. But hey, he could quite easily be the corrupted spellcaster now that he's going down that path.
Possibly, yeah.
Also online today we have M.
Hello, I play Bolt, your ever-lovable puppy, and not the sharpest bolt in the shed. I have been running errands for Trixie for the last few weeks and taking it nice and easy.
And avoiding the Crimson Crush.
Yes, and dutifully avoiding the Crimson Crush, which I beautifully watched get destroyed in front of Trixie's house the other day. As I was wandering away eating chocolate in my human form, I got introduced to a couple of people I smelt around the tower, some new people. A couple of them seem friendly, a couple of them I haven't seen yet, but, you know, we'll get there. And yes, Trixie has been teaching me all the things.
Yeah, I think one of them might smell nice, smell a bit like game. The rabbit folk.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them smells really good.
But also,
yummy.
extremely unsettling at the same time because there's a metallic smell mixed in with the rabbit.
Mm.
Yeah, not entirely sure I want to sink my teeth into it, but I would be happy with like a good sniff up close.
Okay, so your character Bolt has been doing his own things for over a week now away from the party. I'll get you to update everyone to what Bolt's been doing while I duck to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, as I was saying before, I've been at Trixie's, running some errands and also learning how to control my forms a bit better, particularly my human form, as demonstrated by the Crimson Crush having no idea that I was right there when
Right
they
in
came
front
to
of them,
visit
yeah.
Trixie.
Yeah.
So Bolt would call that a success in evasion. And he wasn't even trying to stealth, so you know, that's a bonus, right?
Indeed.
So yes, I am getting more confident in my human form. I still don't like it, but I am more comfortable with it.
It's certainly working out for you.
It is certainly, it is having more merits than Bolt initially gave it credit for. So there's that. He initially was very reluctant to be in this very weak and squishy form, but it's growing on him slowly. It has some merits. Like a few weeks ago when we did that bathroom run at the
The bathroom run.
The one where we gave the people the laxative.
Yeah.
And
I know which run we're talking about.
Yeah.
I was
The Humanist run.
The Humanist run, that's one. I was trying to think of the name.
Just kind of remarking on
Well, anyway,
the name.
essentially I shifted into my human form because the human smell is less sensitive, and that kind of helped me out.
Yep. Yeah, that does.
Just having lots of people send me stuff. Okay, so it is a few days
Did we
since.
do Womps?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we did do Womp.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 I got confused from
No,
one thing.
that's me. That's on me.
Okay, so it's been a few days since the Crimson Crush died in front of Trixie's.
A few weeks.
A few days.
A few days.
A few
right.
days. I
Yeah.
said days. I believe I said days.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just me and my brain.
And in that time, there has been a growth spurt in some of the food from Trixie's, as apparently there's quite a lot of rich nutrient mulch in the soil now.
Okay. That's not disturbing at all.
It's just some blood and bone.
Yeah. Still, I find that disturbing.
And
I mean, how else do you think she grows a luscious garden in the middle of the city?
With normal mulch rather than mulch made out of actual beings.
I mean,
But
sure. She's got to put all the dead rats Bolt probably is bringing her over the last few weeks to use as well. So
yeah. Look, I'm just not going to think about it too much.
you're not going to use those brain cells too hard right now.
but it does mean that she has better shamistic tools now that she's has more to work with.
So, Bolt now knows who to take the dead bodies to.
Garbage disposal.
Trixie, the cleaner.
It does help when it makes things go away.
It's one way to avoid the law.
I mean, it's another option or tool in our arsenal of things. So it could come in handy later.
Yeah, I think it will.
Okay. So it's also a Friday at the moment. Most of the people have had the break for the week.
And was it Perry Springer or whatever had a rerun?
There was a rerun run this week because apparently they said there was a error in taping, and this week's performance has been shifted to another city.
Interesting. So I wonder what will happen with everything from that end.
Most likely it will air, but without any locals in it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder what will happen in terms of like Jane and.
She's probably gone. Excuse my pun. Hopping off to chase after her ex-boyfriend and give him what's coming.
I'm not sure she'll appreciate the pun, but everybody else will, right?
Yeah, totally right.
Okay, so there seems to be a expose up on the news this morning, talking about corporate backroom dealings, with nepotism being the source of the misused funds.
So the me and my mouth today, my brain. So there's the misused funds are coming from. Is this the Renraku thing?
Well, you're not sure. It's just the lead of the story.
Okay, all right. So the story is basically misused funds. That's it.
And it is expected to be a larger case dropped later in the week with more information. So it's more of a teaser to what's to come.
Oh, I see. So this could indeed be our story.
And all talking about how companies will protect their own, even if they're not even if they're the ones who completely screwed up.
Mm. Just gonna make a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else going on?
At this point, not a huge amount, but there is a lot of talk on the nets about what this proof might be, and will the person live long enough to tell the story?
Yep. The investigative reporter or the news anchor?
Well, no, they haven't announced who actually is doing the story. Just that it is breaking news that's going to be dropped on someone shortly.
So very, very little information.
But something to start the hype and ratings, sensationalism things they do.
Nothing like a little bit of intrigue to get people tuning in.
And the more sensational it is, the more likely people are going to pay money to find out more.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Though they always have a click here to find out more information on some of these things, but they all have prices attached to the information barrier. Womp has managed to get some of his coursework out of the way.
Yep.
He's now quite the experienced diviner, as the case may be, dealing with all the things that no one wants to talk about. With knowledge forbidden hitting 3, you'll become one of the town experts on the subject.
Yeah, well, you need to know what's bad and how to combat it.
Yep. But there's now very few people you can go to who can actually help you. Now that you've gone in, equaled or bettered a lot of the city's population on that.
The question is are you able to figure out this blood curse of yours?
It is still something beyond his knowledge.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's the wrong speciality. I have to travel south for that.
Well, we might find ourselves having a bit of a trip then. At some point.
It's more east than south, because you actually had it inflicted upon you.
Yeah, east would be a lot more difficult.
And there's no guarantee that those people in South America will have the same curse.
Mm.
They may just inflict a different one and say, or figure out how they did that, so they can imply it to other people.
That's another thing. Yeah.
Oh look, we didn't know that curse was possible. Let's learn how to do it.
Mm. Yeah, no, I think we'll have to try trusted sources before we do too much. But congratulations on your academic achievements.
Yeah.
And you've even got a little plaque to say you're now an expert in your field. You've graduated your studies into the forbidden.
And now I've got the foreboding.
I was going to say, it's a nice feather in your cap.
There's all this talk about what went wrong with the Parry Springer show in Seattle. There was a raid on the building just before taping was about to start.
There was?
Yep.
Okay.
And there was a undisclosed amount of arrests.
Did they say what triggered this raid?
That information was not in the article, just that the raid had happened.
Hmm.
And with some embarrassment on the production company for going dark right before the go live happened. So there is talk about a class action to get the company to reimburse the subscription fees to see it live.
I wonder if Hollow started a rumor that it was another TV show that actually hired someone to sabotage it.
Oh no. Are we just with Bolt and Womp at the moment?
That is completely up to
Yeah.
Hollow probably didn't need to do anything because people just sensationalize it themselves anyway. So I've just probably just been kicking back.
So you're not trolling the message boards?
Oh no, I probably am.
Yeah, but you could just start that as a suspicion, and then it blows up from there.
Yes, but
Yeah,
it
but
also
it
may still blow back.
I don't need to make the suspicion. The suspicions are already out there. I'm just enjoying the show.
And there's a good chance there will be quite a few spiders trying to find the avatar of the person who shut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is disappointing because now, well, I mean, I was probably attached to my last avatar, but now I'm gonna have to go make a new one. So, you know, I've probably been just keeping an eye on the forums while I create my new my online thing, which I'll have to think about what that looks like.
Doesn't mean you can't. Doesn't mean you have to ditch the old one. You now are getting technically free publicity amongst the hacking community for that avatar.
Yeah, okay, alright, fair. But it's still always good to have a few available, so I've probably just been tooling around with that.
It's always useful, but you are known by what your avatars hacked.
Yeah.
So your new avatars will have absolutely no standing in the community.
Yeah. Which may or may not be a bad thing in itself as well, like if I just want to do simple things.
Well, eventually you build up the others' reputations as you go.
Yeah. I will have to think about what my online avatar looks like, and I'll maybe even do another AI image for it.
And I'm sure you'll have a few images by the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hollow also finds out that there was activity on SoCal's server during the run.
Oh, okay. From SoCal?
Not from one of his programs.
Oh, okay.
What would have actually given the glasses to Hollow and mentioned that it's got SoCal's logo on it?
Okay.
You figure out that he had actually had a semi-autonomous program running on his servers that does watch out for certain people.
And that's what alerted the Crimson Crush the other day.
It's what alerted you to the Crimson Crush, yes, as well as what gave Womp security status in the at the Jerry at the Harry Springer event.
Yep. Is it like an AI program, or is it just more like a like sort of a smart sort of, not search tool so much, but
So to anyone but a hacker, it's an AI. To a hacker, it's the equivalent of a smart node bot that can do stuff. If you don't program it, it doesn't do it.
yeah. So he's programmed to do. Oh, I'll probably be making friends with it.
It seems to be currently above what you'd normally do, and you doubt it would interact with you because you're probably not on its approved list. Though it's probably completely accessed all the gear you plug into SoCal's system, and it may have put some backdoors in there.
I don't mind that so much, mostly because I know SoCal. And to be honest, I probably don't have that much there anyway. Yet. Except for my new little project that I'll be working on the side.
But that program may be able to give you ideas on how to improve your new one.
Well, you think of it as a something that can activate ice and icebreakers, as well as perform specific net actions.
But basically, it's something I can look up to in terms of wanting to learn to do or be able to do.
Yep.
Or even modify.
He just couldn't find the source code.
I'm going to presume, because I'm currently on his secondary computer, is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah, this is probably on his main computer, which I would have to go looking for, but I don't really want to, because, you know, that would just be rude, right? This is someone I look up to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so with a lot of this happening, you do get some updates from Shadow, noting that the lawyers looking after her friend's estate have basically are still continuing the clock, waiting for the information to be dropped. But from the communication, it seems promising at this stage.
Yeah, that's good.
Because basically the headline this morning is like, that's what's going to drum more people up to viewing what we found, right?
Well, anything that's sensational, they try to drop it everywhere at once. So if someone tries a takedown, it's not so easy to take it down.
Yeah. Which is kind of what we wanted anyway, so...
And if they have to pay to access it, then deleting it would be a lot harder. Most paywalls have tighter security to the content.
Yeah.
Otherwise, how do you keep out those who don't pay?
This is true on several levels.
And about lunchtime on the Friday, there is a envelope left in reception for Shadow.
In reception of
The
Desmond's building?
Yeah, the Dead Shop building.
Okay. Am I gather I check my mail regularly, even though I'm staying down the road more often these days?
Well, they normally leave a message on your system saying something's arrived for you.
Perfect. Okay. I will have a look at it and think this is a very interesting and dated way of communicating, but I'm not against that. I like paper and messages.
And as you walk in, you see walking out of the stuffer shack, Jane with an armful of useless trinkets.
I really need to get a hold of that crystal and fix the hypnotize trigger.
But appears to have a happy look on her face because, well, she's getting her fix.
Yeah, that's a problem still, because I know her budget can't really afford this.
Okay, so reaching the desk, you find that there is a single playing card in an envelope.
Oh, right. Is this new to me? Is Desmond the only person who's been receiving the playing cards?
Desmond's normally the one who receives it.
But, has he been telling us Harliquin sent me a card?
You've seen it on his door more than once.
Okay, alright. So I know what it is when I'm looking at it. And does the card have any information on it?
Just that it seems to have given you a week's warning.
1 week's warning.
Mm-hmm.
Does this trigger a memory of something I think I should have done that I haven't done yet?
You remember that Desrin got a week's notice previously.
Before he had an assignment?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Well, I guess it's good to know that we'll have another job. Hopefully paying. No information about the kind of job, I presume.
The card, unlike the other ones that Desrin has received, seems more foreign.
Foreign?
Yep.
Okay.
It is not using traditional English lettering.
Right.
And the symbolism of it does strike you as Eastern European.
Oh, Eastern European. That seems very unusual. I might take send a text to Womp and basically along the lines of I've received a very interesting message. Might be worthwhile us getting together and trying to determine its origins. Because
Text back saying this has got nothing about writings on the wall.
What do you mean, nothing about writings on the wall?
I think he's referring to Flobber's episode of the other day.
Oh, okay. I don't think so.
Good.
Where
meet?
How about we meet at, are you happy with Trixie's?
Thumbs up.
Yeah, alright. Because I know you don't like the Dead Shop building. I'll grab Bolt. And then I'm gonna go up and see where Bolt is.
Bolt is where is Bolt when Shadow finds?
Bolt is probably finally just like curled up on his bed, ready to enjoy a bit of a nap, afternoon nap, or morning nap, depending on what time it is. Doesn't mind getting interrupted, but he's just like, he's in his wolf form, curled up in a ball, because that's comfy.
It's a good thing I passed Trixie's on my way up to Desrin's dead shot, because I not only have coffee, but I have one of the Easter doggy chocolate treats to get Bolt going.
Yeah, we'll feed chocolate to the dog. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with that.
No, these are doggy safe chocolate.
It's the, oh god, what is that? Chocolate. It's chocolate, not chocolate. It's called something weird.
Chocolate that has no real chocolate in it.
So if Bolt is still kind of napping because the smell that entered his apartment was a familiar one, I'll waft the coffee underneath Bolt's nose and say, "You want to come for a walk down to Trixie's?"
Bolt immediately springs up and wags his tail.
I think it's Carbo. Carol.
Carob.
Yeah.
Carob. Yeah.
That's the one.
Carbone is a bit of a tortured pun, but a pun that I'll recognise nonetheless.
Yeah. But yes, I pop up immediately and wag my tail. Because who doesn't enjoy Trixie's?
Coffee and doggy safe chocolate, and we'll head back down to Trixie's to meet Womp. And on our way down, I will show you the card and tell you. I think this one's a little bit different from the one that Desrin normally gets.
I give it a good sniff. Because I've been near the Harliquin we know, haven't I?
You have.
Do I recognise the smell?
Yes, you do recognise the smell. It has that very strong unsealed paint fumes coming off it.
Okay.
What sort of fumes were coming off it?
The sort of unsealed paint fumes.
Oh.
You know, where things just have a very strong chemical smell.
Yeah. It's probably designed to stop other people trying to work out who else is on it, handling it.
A normal person can't smell that.
It's designed to burn my nostrils, which I sort of reel back and go. Bleh.
I'm sorry, I didn't realise it was it had that kind of effect on it.
So as far as Bolt's concerned, it has no traceable scent on it.
Yeah. That's fine. I mean, Bolt wanted to sniff it, and he got the bad end of the stick, so, you know, that's his fault. It was worth a shot, though. But yes, they have covered their tracks.
It was indeed. Before we get out of the Deadshot building, I'll duck my head into Flogger's room to see whether or not there's a Flogger writing in some kind of ancient script.
You duck your head in. You see Flogger writing on the ceiling while standing on the ceiling.
Okay. In a trance.
While snoring.
Okay. We're gonna need to do something about this. But I'm gonna need to talk to some much more knowledgeable friends. I'll leave him sleeping, but I'll leave a Flogger troll size note saying that if he needs to find us, we're at Trixie's.
I believe we have a Jeremy online.
Oh, yay!
Hello, Jeremy.
Good evening, all. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. It's just nice hearing you online.
We had a pretty late start, so you haven't really missed much apart from just the cliff notes of last game and some repercussions. Not quite the right word, but of that.
All good.
So I'll get you to introduce your character, Jeremy, and we'll catch you up on what you missed.
Okay. I'm playing Desmond Deadshot, the elf who grew up on the streets of Seattle, believing the epitome of life was to join the Ain't for the gods of the street. However, he now knows that maybe he can aim somewhat beyond ancient at this time, having discovered that they've apparently inherited some sort of super bike, and still getting used to inherent superpowers as well. But most importantly, he's come to earn lots of money.
Because that always is a great motivator, right?
Well, he's almost earning enough money that he doesn't really have to run. He's very close to that.
I gotta keep the upbeat on all the likes of Dan.
And the damage that Thor was doing to your building.
There is that. Okay, so what you've missed is there's news of a big expose coming out about how many of the corporations are favouring family over valuing employees.
Mm-hmm.
But not saying any more about it, waiting for people to pay more and wait for the next lot of information to drop.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of talk about what's happening there. And a European, Eastern European joker showed up at the front desk for Shadow with a note saying you've got 1 week.
Mm-hmm. Is Shadow aware of what that refers to?
I'm aware that it's probably from Harliquin and that it's probably a job. And I've contacted Womp and we're all meeting at Trixie's. I haven't left the building just yet. I've just collected Bolt and I've just checked in on Flogger, who's unconscious on the ceiling, writing on the ceiling.
Thank you.
Because the egg is runny. If I'm aware you're there, I will text you and tell you I have a very interesting card. You may want to have a look at. We're having coffee at Trixie's.
There's going to certainly be there.
Mind you, this was after I left my place down the road from Trixie's, picked up coffees, and then came and got Bolt, and now I'm going back to Trixie's for more coffee.
Well, you've had your first coffee for the day.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone sees a problem with this, right?
Okay, so as you reach Trixie's, you see that unusually the door is has a back later today sign up there.
Oh, does it?
And it's actually locked.
That's not a good sign. I'm hoping that Trixie's okay. if I have any kind of message, text, contact for Trixie, I'll reach out and just say I hope everything's okay.
And the derelict van that used to sit out front of Trixie's is missing. Apparently, it's been driven away.
Okay.
We do know that she does do like house and stuff, right?
You do, but not normally people come to her so often. It's a rare case that she leaves home.
Yeah. Is there anyone that normally hangs around outside Trixie's?
There's always people floating in and out. Plus, there is a table for those wanting to wait for Trixie on her porch. Table and chairs.
Anyone there?
Not at the moment.
Okay, so I'll text Womp, change of plan. Unfortunately, it's Stuffer Shack. Trixie's is closed. And I'll send that same text to Desmond.
Oh, okay, so yeah. You'd arranged to meet to discuss what the type you received, not actually meet with Johnston. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any information about the Johnson.
Yeah, no, that's right. So, Shadows asked us together.
Yes, because prior to you being available online, I wasn't quite sure what to make of it, so...
Yeah, no, after that, I could.
It's a meeting.
So you want to meet at the Stuffer Shack now?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
Did I get a copy from Trixie's own Martin?
Yeah, you did before she ducked out.
And do I know if she mentioned anything?
A lot of times she gets emergency calls from people.
Okay, alright. So I'll just presume it's hopefully something not too concerning. Alright, so we'll head back to Stuffer Shack and gather around to look at this Joker that's from Eastern European provenance. And I'll ask Desmond, do you know what that means? That it seems to come from Eastern Europe?
So you received a playing card Joker?
Yeah. And the language and symbology of it appears to be Eastern European in origin. There's no information on it whatsoever.
Hey, it's Slavic Harliquin.
Yeah. Unless it's Dimitri from D&D Wednesday, it's something a bit different.
I mean, it's the sort of thing that, I think, Dimitri had contact with Harliquin. I think after there was after we got the payout and everything like that from the ABN run, we got word back that Harliquin may have more work, or there might be another job coming up in a few weeks, didn't we? Okay?
You did.
That's the lay low for a week. So this card does certainly align with Desmond's expectations of the next Harliquin job. He's become he's probably Mr. H. He's probably got a different card.
So do we just what do we do? Do we just wait? It says we've got 1 week. How did it say we've got 1 week, Martin?
It was written.
Oh, okay. So the only thing was you've got 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, do we wait a week for like a phone call, or does that mean we've got a week to do this job and we've got to figure it out from the card? It's my most direct Harliquin contact.
Wasn't it that like the last time you got a card and then he met you in a week?
It's going to say, previously he's left a card on my wherever, and I've received the contract. Short time, like a period later. So in this case, I'd expect to be hearing from him in a week.
Oh, okay. Well, it's
ignore the idea that an awareness to don't have any open ends for like we've got everything tied up. So therefore, whatever happens in a week, we can drop everything and begin.
So it's not the exciting immediate adventure I took it for. It's one that's happening in a week's time. I thought there was more urgency to it. Okay.
I mean, it's the sort of thing that, hey, it does give the warning of any preparations that can be done. Make sure you do them.
Yep. Okay. Well, we'll outside of hoping this story breaks, we don't have much on right now.
Yeah. Wasn't there... I know it was tickets to the same show the following night, wasn't it? That some people had. Was there any other meetings that were scheduled later in the I heard thought that there was sort of like I can't remember exactly what days they were, but I'm thinking that like he had his, the rabbit had his dinner on Monday night, the tickets to the show were on Tuesday night, and then there was something on Thursday night.
Well, the public performance was scheduled for Thursday. The backup performance was for Wednesday. The surprise performance was on Tuesday, which was also linked with the dinner.
Yeah. I thought there was something else that was coming up a couple of days after the public performance, but
all of it got kind of kiboshed by Halo blacking out the Parry Springers communications network.
yeah, that's right.
And there's currently a class action against the network for people prepaying for the show that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I bombed everyone out of the
And they probably...
Oh yeah, I had thought that there was something like obviously related to the whole issue, but not specifically related to that particular celebrity. Possibly it was a meeting with the real reporter.
We'd already met with everyone.
We've done everything. We haven't heard back from anyone outside of the little bit of news breaking this morning of
Nepotism in corporate worlds.
Yeah, it's kind of like a teaser. It's not
Yep.
the actual story.
Yeah. Like right then, gives more time for the ancients to act on the stuff that I gave them when I went to Seattle, and for Harliquin to act on the stuff going through there. Jacob was also vaguely tempted to contact the reporter we came across in the APN job.
Carrie Taylor.
Carrie, that guy.
Yeah. I mentioned her back when we were talking about originally who to contact, and Martin said that she's currently still in hiding, because her other story, and she's laying low, and that was
Yeah.
why we couldn't go to her. We could try her again now if you want.
Oh, well, no, again, Deborah was just tempted to send her some choice tidbits of the information in the same sort of way as, hey, yeah, she's not big enough to actually break it from the perspective of what Shadow wants to achieve.
I'm happy to contact her.
There might be some stuff that might be good for her career, but then also it's potentially deadly for her career too, because obviously anyone who knows, when I say deadly for her career, in the sense of deadly for her life.
Yeah. Look, I'm happy to give her the information. I've been happy all along.
No, that's right. If we haven't got contact, that's easy enough too. So.
Martin was just saying she's not contactable.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's right. Yeah, and she certainly wouldn't have achieved the result that Gato was looking for in the holistic sense.
No. She was my first choice. Because we met her.
She was your only choice initially.
We'd met her. She seemed trustworthy. We had a rapport. I was happy with this.
She wasn't big enough to actually break the story to the effect that it needed to be broken.
Yeah. I think she was.
You didn't believe she was big enough to break the story without being broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't want to kill her.
That's right.
Okay, so Desrin finds a message arrive on his link.
Mm-hmm. Is this the one that Paige provided previously, or is this via Tatiana?
You believe
Or
it's
generally public?
it is the Tatiana one.
Yeah, okay.
The message suggests scanning the playing card.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Jacob will have a good look at the playing card if you decide right. So then Tatiana can have a good look at the playing card.
Okay, so you see that quite a lot of inconsistencies with the card pop up.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize that it actually has a name on there. So see you in a week at Banshees.
Okay. Do you have a time as well as in a week?
It doesn't have a date, and it's not dated from when it was dropped off.
Okay, then. And what name was actually on there?
It was left for Shadow.
Right, okay. Okay. And Banshees is one of the places in Seattle as well.
Was that where we saw Charlie?
It's one of the Redmond Barrens well-known bars that you've been in quite a few times.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that one of the new, but so
could be worse. It could have been at Crushers Night 495.
I'll put my finger up for a second. I'll go just a sec, and I'll walk out of Stuffer Shack into the reception foyer area of our building and go up to the reception people and say, when precisely was this dropped off?
He has no idea. He found it in the back room.
Is that normal?
Highly irregular.
How many people can get back there?
Well, as far as he knew, only 2 people had keys.
Well, if it's a lock, it's pickable. Do you know when you were last in there, if you saw anything? Like, can you remember? Can I help him remember.
He says, well, it could have been put there anywhere in the last 2 or 3 days. Maybe.
Okay. And there was no time on it, Desrin said.
No time on it.
No.
Okay.
What
Well,
are we
that
going to
causes
play now?
complications. Because it could be 2 or 3 days. It could be I need to just start going into banshees regularly.
Either that, or maybe if you look within yourself, you may know the knowledge.
I may know the knowledge. Look, I'll head back into Stuffer Shack, and I'm like, they don't know precisely when it was dropped off.
As you walk into Stuffer Shack, you see Jane walk out again with another armload of stuff.
Can you please stop torturing me with this? Because
What?
I know I can't go and take her aside and do another hypnosis thing. And yet it's killing me that she's spending all of this money on these things, and I can't stop them from stocking it, and yeah.
Well, when they run out of the stuff, she starts buying more expensive or useless things.
Well, yeah, we need to fix the whole trigger problem. When hypnosis goes wrong.
All right, as far as the Stuffer Shack is concerned.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not so much wrong in terms of you fixed her previous obsession or trigger.
Well, hopefully this one's less traumatic, but it's hard to say. Sorry.
Traumatic for her bank account.
I can't look up who we last spoke to or what contact we've got at Banshees because I'm trying to eat. But
Don't you have the ability to do mystic questioning?
I can do predict, I guess.
Do we really want to do predict on something so basic though?
No, well, the thing is, you need to know, if you want to know what day it is, you could actually do that with your predictability.
Not necessarily.
Can't you?
Isn't the predictability only just like yes, no?
Yeah.
I can't remember. My next option is to do some sort of investigation on the card myself, but I thought Desrin and Tatiana might be able to fill in. Did you say you saw some imperfections on the card, or
Inconsistencies, apparently.
inconsistencies?
So,
Did your
when they, I was thinking of my terminating remark sort of, I got the impression that they inconsistent were where you actually brought out the reference to Banshee's 1 week shadow.
yeah.
But was it something else, like were you suggesting the card had been modified or something in some way, that aside from having a either hidden or obvious?
Is it a genuine
Right,
card from Harliquin? Or is this from someone else?
Well, if it had Asian style on it, I would have said it probably would have come from Wish.
Well, Eastern European, does Harlequin
Previously when Harliquin had stuck a Joker card in his door frame or on his desk, I think from memory, they were seemingly scanned a deck of cards, weren't they?
They were.
Maybe you've been upgraded to the next level.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering, is this from Harlequin? And if it's not, who is it from? What magic do I have available to me, Martin?
Predict will allow you to grant a question about events in the next 24 hours. But It's basically one answer in relation to the question.
And I can only do that once per
Once per session.
So I possibly don't want to use it on this card.
So if you go, I want to know what happens, will Harliquin come to the place today? If the answer is no, then basically you can't do it until next session.
And also, of course, if it's only 24 hours in advance, then if he answers yes, then we're thinking, okay, he's got other things in the fire as well as something next week.
And that's if he's coming in person. Because so far
No,
you've not made him for the job in person yet, even though he's giving you warning.
Yeah.
So predict, I can only do it a day in advance.
For the next 24 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, up to 24 hours.
And what information does it give you? Just a yes/no answer to a question.
Gives you a answer, and the answer will depend on how well you succeed.
Okay. What other investigative spells might I have?
Can Gekman will do a bit of a search online or something. Who else is actually with us at the present time?
Currently,
Lock and bolt.
Yep.
On the bolt. Okay, yep.
Technically,
Oh,
Bo
yes.
is in the building, but you haven't seen him.
No, that's fine. For this purpose, Gekman is quite happily doing a search, particularly with Tatiana, potentially providing for the assistant or knowingly or unknowingly. He's going to actually see if he can work out what deck the card actually came from. Like if it's a particular deck or a particular production company or anything like that.
Okay, so looking it up, it is actually a boutique deck, and they only seem to make it in Bavaria. So Bavaria, Germany.
Right. And is it one that's apparently still in production, or is it like simply an old or a replica, a duplicate of an old style card or anything like that? Or
Question.
Yep.
Is Soderkrop German?
Soderkrop is German.
yeah.
Alright. Could I predict, is this card's origin from Soderkrop?
That would not tell you because that's not about the next 24 hours.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, that one's more. Yeah,
What
I
skills
don't
do
think
I have
you've
or
got the ability to
investigation
do the
capacity
pass,
that you
is
have?
there?
Sorry, got people talking over each other.
Sorry,
Who wants to go first?
Ross can go.
Yeah, I don't think there is a spell that can do the pass yet.
Predict can do the pass, you've just got to learn the ability to go backwards instead of forwards.
Yeah.
Which I don't have yet.
No.
But I was asking, even though I'm working on a printable character sheet right now, could you please look my stats up? Because I thought I had the capacity to do a magical investigation of sorts.
Okay.
Because I know at one stage that I asked to kind of improve my capacity to do that. Did that end up actually happening?
You are very good with Arcana, trying to determine things.
Mm-hmm. So just a straight Arcana check?
You have a lot of magical law.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, it would be law, perhaps?
And if you really wanted to know about if it's Soderkrop, that's corporations, or about Germany, that's society.
I I would probably want to try both branches of questioning, but I'll go down one first. My first is a suspicion that it might be Sadocrop origins because of my recent discussion with Freya about the Golden Devil. If there's upgrade, I will upgrade.
Okay, you upgrade, and
Is it good or bad?
I don't know yet. Okay, so you did pretty well because there were 4 successes and or 3 successes and 4 advantages. Okay, looking at it, it doesn't look like Sadocrop style. Doesn't have any Sadocrop branding or logos
That's
embedded
reassuring. I'm good with that.
And from what the picture Desrin has of the original, visually you can't tell the difference between the original and the modified one.
Okay.
So whoever modified it it in a way that was detectable by Desrin's eye.
Okay. So they've done it on purpose. So it's more than likely Harliquin in origin.
Or someone with a lot of technical know-how.
And someone that knows that Desrin's got the capacity to examine it with cyber eyes and determine that it's got those things. And would trying to determine anything else about the card, would that be just a straight Arcana check?
You could try an Arcana check on it.
Or was it the society check that I had to do to...
Society would tell you more about Germany.
Although I'm not sure that will help us a whole lot. I figure it possibly won't do
you spend
any
another point?
I don't want to use all our points up just on doing a society check, so I'll say no and hope this doesn't earn me a red devil.
Flogger believes in you.
Okay.
Flogger was asleep on his roof.
On his ceiling, yes.
I'm sure he was just walking on sunshine.
See, the belief of Flogger helped.
The belief of Flogger did indeed help.
So I will have Josh introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Josh. I play both the very, very smart Neuro, the cyborg, who is investigating his own attack from many years past, and I'm also playing the meat club that is Flogger. The not so smart, very buff and scary troll.
He's not a meat club. He's
Oh, sorry. Sorry, the titanium wall that is Flogger.
Yeah, that's actually more accurate, I think.
Okay.
Destroyer of doors and spines.
Oh, they can't be working on walls and ceilings.
I was about to say, wasn't it faces? But yes, Desrin did better.
Yeah.
Alright, so,
Okay, so giving Josh a idea of where he's up to. Flogger wakes up with a headache, having somehow fallen on his head.
Oh.
You must have had a really strange dream. You felt like you could fly.
Flogger got owie. Why Why Flogger up here?
Well, technically you're on the floor now, but you were up there.
Why is Flogger down here? What happened to Flogger?
Is there an answer?
There is no answer.
Oh, I thought you were gonna roll a dice before you gave me that. I'm surprised.
Flogger fall down.
Flogger never fall down.
Did I get successes on that?
You got successes. You believe you ended up with actually 4 successes.
Oh, wow.
You believe it's the cards done for one of the German society families that has a castle in that region.
In Bavaria itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just over the border from Germany.
I feel like this is an opening to an Agatha Christie Poirot story, where the king of Bavaria comes for Poirot to solve his problems for him. But I suspect that this is much more mundane. Well, I hope it's more mundane.
Yeah, I don't think we've got a Belgian detective.
Well, I'm definitely not Belgian, we'll put it that way.
You might have a belching detective.
Yeah, no, that'll be Flogger. No, it could be Bolt.
Callahan.
Yeah, that's true.
Flogger definitely not European.
He would probably be an Irish detective. But that's beside the point. The next thing we've got to try and determine is time, I guess, like a day and a time. Desrin, can Tatiana, from her examination, see anything in there that might, in the symbology?
You've got the place and next week. But the comment of the information about the deck of cards itself having come from Bavaria was that wasn't due to a scan of this particular card. That was basically conducting research on, hey, who makes this card?
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to give one of you who's looking at it a vigilance check.
I don't know what my vigilance is.
I am looking at Shadow. It is 3 green and 1 blue.
Does anyone have any better vigilance of 3 green and 1 blue?
Well, it's not a shared one. It is.
Just me?
It's anyone can do it, but it's basically noticing things without actually looking.
Okay, alright. Well, we'll start with me and I'll upgrade if I can.
Okay. You upgrade.
Please don't hate me.
I never hate you.
I meant the dice. I know you like it.
That's definitely the dice leading me at that stage, as I sense dice everywhere. And you ended up with an advantage, so you didn't notice anything particularly bad about that.
I was going to say, does
Desmond gets a yellow and a green. And possibly a blue if the cyber eyes themselves have their effect.
Okay, I thought it was only for the people who were looking at the card.
Well,
so the person who had the card.
You're with us, so you could have a close look at it. I'd be happy to show it to you, Womp.
So Desrin looking at it is
A yellow, green, and maybe a blue. But depending on the cyber eyes have an effect.
well, the cyber eyes gives you the yellow. You don't actually have ranks in it.
You could possibly upgrade to
So
a second
see how
one.
this has skill 1 and skill 1 in here? They automatically give you 1 skill rank in it without paying for it.
Oh, okay, so the cyber eyes give you the 1 ranking skill.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
But
That's
all pre-calculated for you, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, happy with that? Yep. Okay, yeah, 1 green, 1 yellow then.
Okay, so yes, Desrin didn't really notice anything there in general.
I will.
Okay, I could have a look at it.
Show it to Womp and Bolt, and I'm also gonna send a text to Hollow if I'm allowed to, and ask her if she can have a look at SoCal's cameras and see if she saw anyone breaking into the vicinity of the back room of the foyer area to leave a card in there, and if so, what day?
Okay, so Womp has noticed something unusual about it.
What has Womp noticed?
He notices that the Joker seems to be smiling when the Jokers in general on that set don't smile.
Oh, okay.
And from his intuition looking at it, it may represent happy hour.
Happy hour.
Because it is a bar after all.
It is a bar.
Yeah.
So no, that gives us everything but day. Am I able to text Hollow and ask her to check SoCal's cameras?
Okay. There's no reason why we can't go to Banshees every afternoon at happy hour.
Yeah, no, that is also my option, but
All part of WeCon, obviously.
yeah, I don't have any objection to multiple happy hour visits until we bump into the desired person. But I'm also extremely curious about who it is that dropped it off, and if we can get any sight of that person. I think that would be an advantage for us. And we know that SoCal's got cameras up around the Deadshot building, so I figure it wouldn't hurt to just see if we can check our CCTV and see if anything shows up on it.
Well, the basic check, which doesn't require a roll, says that no one opened the single door to the office in about a week beforehand. That wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been thinking the fact that potentially, if you really want to, we can go through and look at, like, we've got a week to look through footage of the down thing, but yeah, so I'm not really
certain.
certain.
Ask Hollow to do it in the background.
Martin did mention at the beginning of the game that Hollow has noticed that there is in layman terms, AI bot that SoCal has coded to do things, and it was telling me about an anomaly, which I didn't quite have a chance to look into earlier. So that could be it.
This could be an opportunity to do so.
If it is related, it might not be, but I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, no, that's why I was gonna say I'm just gonna text and ask, and if you're happy to do that check in the background, whether it's to check that AI or that, and then what time of day is it? Did you say it's midday?
About midday, yeah.
So happy hour would be about, what, 4 to 6?
Yeah, about that.
Okay, so we'll head over to Banshees.
But being Banshees, it's most likely 5 to 6.
Okay, we'll
Anything
happy
more
hour
than an
always
hour.
goes for 2 hours.
Yes, but it's a poor place, so they can't afford to do 2-for-1 drinks for very long.
Well, the whole idea of happy hour is that people start getting really drunk and they start buying more and more drinks.
I think what Barton's implying is that it's so watered down that it doesn't necessarily happen that way. is what I got from that, but
You see, I haven't been in a bar for many years, so I'm not familiar with happy hour even in real world terms.
It's normally the kick-off point for a lot of nights if you want to get drunk.
I just remember they went for 2 hours, and I really hated it because when I was a bartender, it was a very busy 2 hours.
Yeah. Not all places spend 2 hours though.
Yeah.
That's it was one of the dwarf trip. Some places, the hour goes for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So,
The place I worked always did 4 to 6.
yeah.
Okay, so Banshee does it 5 to 6.
Yep. Okay. So we'll head over there, and look, if Hollow does a search or checks out that AI anonymously and it comes up with something, then that's bonus.
Okay.
Greg would all probably spend part of the afternoon. Obviously, he's got other things on his mind, doing busy things like fixing bikes or vans or running the dead shop building, etc. But he'll also got a bit of a background thing on exactly what do we know about the area, and it's not like his education tells you much about the place at all. So.
Okay, so when you run your background check on Bavaria, you get nothing in the last 100 years. Everything is at least 100 years in the past.
There's no new news or new information on Bavaria.
Not that his system was able to bring back.
Because I was gonna do some research myself. I was gonna send Bolt down to check if Trixie's back and if it's open, and get research fuel to pass the time between now and when we head over to Banshees. Presuming Bolt's happy to do a quick run down the street.
You said run.
Yeah. Yeah. You go and check, and if Trixie's open...
You get to do, hey Bolt, can you run to, and I probably already know what you're going to say, and I'm like, just not.
Yeah, okay.
No, what happens is you say run to, and Bolt's already out the door. You don't give him a location.
And I'll check on Flogger on my way up to go and log into my computer and do my research.
Flogger has a confused look on his face.
Ah, you're awake, Flogger. Flogger may be driving.
Yes, Flogger awake.
Do you remember
Flogger's head really.
Can I help with that, or is that a wonk job?
That's probably more of a wonk job.
I presume Womp's still with us. Does Womp want to help Flogger with his headache?
Okay. Is his nose bleeding?
Nope.
Would it be just to do a medicine roll?
Well, you can see where something hit the ground because there's this head-sized cracked imprint in the concrete.
What floor are we on?
Second.
Okay. I feel the need that while Womp's fixing Flogger's headache, to just go down to the next level and just check the ceilings there.
Okay.
Check the integrity of the roof.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Looking at it, most of the room below Flogger's has been filled with joists holding the ceiling up.
Okay, so it looks like it's gonna hold.
You won't be able to rent that room out.
No, I didn't think we ever would anyway, so that's okay.
They've control-proofed my room, yay!
And the rooms below it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Control-proof my room, they've had to use the room below to put joists on.
Yeah, that's it. So is that a medicine roll for Womp?
It would be a medicine or a healing roll for Womp, depending on how Womp likes to do it.
I'm just going to do a medicine on him because his companion freaks the hell out of me.
Well, on the bright side, you can't see it.
Yeah, that's the issue. is I can't see it, so if it does get pissed off, I won't see it coming.
Okay, so medicine roll for one.
Well, that was lucky. The red disappeared pretty quick.
Okay, so that was 3 successes and 5 advantages.
It's really interesting that there's a red that comes up to fix a headache for Flogger.
We ignore that.
Well, we can right now because it went away. But I believe was it 3 successes and 4 advantages?
Yes, you have managed to clear the headache.
I was going to say Flogger's head no longer hurts anymore, thanks to Warm.
As you notice, a splinter of concrete falls out of the side of his head.
Okay, in that case, you should be glad I didn't cast magic on you. That would have been interesting.
Would you like to come with us to go to Banshees for happy hour, Flogger?
So you do get the strange thought of at least nothing valuable was hurt by the splinter.
I'm just going to jump on my computer in just a few moments. So
Could have been worse. Could have been Flogger's arms. That would really have been a.
But yes, Flogger would like alcohol to numb the pain a little bit more.
He'll get that in about a couple of hours, I presume, when we head down to Banshees.
Well, there's not necessarily any point in everyone go to Banshees for every happy hour.
Oh no, I definitely wouldn't mind going, and I have to go because it's my card. But I'm happy for other people to go if they want to drink. I presume Desmond would rather leave Flogger and Bolts behind?
No, we're in the Barrens. He's happy to have them wander around the Barrens, much they want to.
Yeah.
And plus, that they will help make sure people won't bother you at the bar.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's it. So I'll do some research on my computer as much as I can on Bavaria. I presume I find the same kind of information.
That the basic check brings back. It was a place that was lifted through literature, but not known for doing anything great recently.
Can I do a bit more research about what houses might exist in the Seattle area that might have come down from Bavaria to here? Particularly having been given the information from Desmond and Tatiana that it's an old sort of royal crown theme.
There's a lovely waffle place in downtown.
Yeah, well. Yeah, so just to see, is there a prominent or semi-prominent family of notable notoriety, for lack of a better word, that's made the news or something more locally over the years? Any articles or...
Okay, so you do hit a bunch of articles talking about how the political system in Bolivia, it has been completely deteriorating over the last 50 years.
I presume you mean Bavaria, not Bolivia.
Bavaria.
Yeah. The political system's been deteriorating. Does that mean there's likely to be political refugees over this way?
Quite possibly.
Okay. I'll have a look into the society pages of the news and that, see if I can see anything of Bavarian type people, on red carpets, etc.
Well, it does have all these things about how they were trying to succeed from Germany.
Right.
And then during the rise of Saderkrupp, that all just stopped.
Okay. So, these could be non-Saderkrupp people, like the anti-Saderkrupp.
Well, once Saderkrupp took over Berlin, it pretty much took over a big chunk of Eastern Europe.
Okay. No one was getting away from that. Okay. Interesting to know. And no family names or anything like that comes up?
No main family name comes up because apparently a lot of the people involved tried to not make their names public.
Okay, so they're keeping a low profile now. That's something to keep in mind. I'll go downstairs, wish Tarlin was with me, and make sure that Flogger's dressed somewhat appropriately for Banshees.
Mm-hmm.
I won't go for putting a suit on him like Desrin wants to.
No. We're talking a bar in the Barrens.
Yep.
He can wear whatever he likes.
Oh.
Particularly since this is not for the meat. This is part of the week on. And I mean, I'm assuming that realistically, we're probably being Banshees off and up, but we all know what's like and who's there and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, okay. I do not. I have no memory of our history with Banshees. So.
This is where Flogger killed a CEO's son.
Oh, well, maybe we don't want to bring everyone with us. That may not be a good thing.
But like, there's something that, I mean, I'm not expecting this meet to be occurring until for at least another probably 4 or 5 days minimum.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to be about 3 to 4 days, because they said the last couple of days, so I'm thinking it's either day 3 or day 4 now. So yeah, I'm not expecting it to be today, but who knows? The guy at reception in the foyer may not be the most observant of people, and it could indeed be day 7.
Well, okay, there could more be day 0. Simply because of the previous experience of dealing with Harliquin and Carr. However, they've got there, they've been making themselves stolen effectively, immediately.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, we'll head down to Banshees.
Okay, so you get let in without any issues, just checking in basic weapons at the door.
Yep.
The whole you do hear from the dwarf behind the thing, more of a token gesture, considering Flogger punched someone's head off last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is pretty tokenish, considering we have Bolt and Flogger with us, and they are pretty much weapons in and of themselves. We'll head over to the bar, order drinks.
Okay, so the barkeep, known as Walter, is happy to see you again.
Hey Walter, I'll have tea in a pint glass of beer, beer pint glass, not beer in the tea, just tea, but in a beer.
you want a pint of tea?
Yeah.
He laughs and says, you explain it every time, he says.
Yeah. You know me. Awful with my words, well-meaning with everything else.
They're always interesting when you get them around the wrong way.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Womp will notice, and it won't be his favourite thing that he's encountered, but
No, I'm just wondering if the Guinness arrived yet.
Oh, you want Guinness and not tea this time around?
No, we're in a pub.
Yeah. Well,
He says, we call it Guinness, but yeah, it is, mostly Guinness.
you're probably better off with tea. I'm gonna have a coffee, even though I'm in a bar.
Thought you were having a tea.
No, the tea was for Womp, thus the pint.
Oh, I still have the tea.
I always order Womp a tea whenever we go into drink places. And I usually get Bolt and Flogger something as well. What will Bolt and Flogger have?
He has the latest craft brews for the region.
I'm
Yay.
pretty sure that'll make them happy. I'll pick those up and get my coffee and look around the bar, see if there's anything noticeable. Ask Walter if anything interesting or new has happened this week.
James will just make whatever contact.
Yep, he does a craft beer for Desrin as well.
You get to be with the yuppie crowd.
Yeah, it tastes different from the last one you had. This one actually tastes like it's got alcohol in it.
Well, I mean, it sort of is that while Declan hasn't necessarily tried to make a huge comment about it, he doesn't necessarily really look too much like the Mohawk Mikey in the picture anymore.
What does he look
He
like
changed-
now?
He changed the dress in a much more refined manner. But obviously, still aware that, depending on the occasion, so that if he's going out somewhere, then he can dress up, he can go down there, go to dancing side, yeah, probably not really worth buying that dressed up, he's probably barely got out of his green cup of overalls, but hey.
Yeah, that seems fitting for a bar.
Yes.
You're in taking jacket still, but
He talks about how he got a keg of Bavarian beer delivered about 2 days ago.
Oh, okay. 2 days ago.
Hmm.
That seems.
and you request or did it arrive?
Oh, well, we never request things. We're more than happy to pay for it. And the two orcs who delivered the cake were quite happy to be paid for the cake that fell off the back of a truck, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know we only stock whatever happens to disappear from normal supplies.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do these normal supplies, are they destined for other places, like hotels or?
Oh, are you sure they're destined for some yuppie place somewhere?
Hmm.
Who else can afford to transport beer across the world?
Hmm.
Okay,
That's true.
I'll have double that as well.
Oh, he hasn't cracked it open yet.
When will you be cracking it open?
Most likely Saturday or Sunday night, he says. So tomorrow night or the night after.
Okay, cool.
Well, we've got a bit of extra time on our hands, so I wouldn't be surprised if we're here those days too.
So that's all good. That's the biggest news he's had for a little while, besides the complaints of Crimson Crush entering the territory, making a nuisance of themselves, and then completely screwing their hold-up tactics they were doing on someone.
Yeah. They've been dealt with.
Yeah, we heard about that.
They've been yeah, they've been dealt with. They can brush your dust off your nation's jacket. Off the
Yeah, they were messing with Trixie, so yeah.
Yeah, let's just say you don't mess with Trixie.
Yes, well, you also struggle to tell an orc not to do a bad thing.
That's true.
It's harder to not tell a troll not to do a thing, but it's harder not to tell a orc to do a bad thing.
That's true as well.
They've been looked pointedly toward Flogger.
Flogger doesn't notice, I'm sure.
No, right.
What doesn't Flogger notice?
Desiree
got beer in front of you.
look.
There was a discussion about the challenge of teaching goals.
Yeah. Flogger doesn't keep on drinking.
You haven't had any Bavarian accents come along and request the beer that got delivered, have you?
Oh, that would just be creepy, he says.
Yeah.
Besides, do you have any idea what a Bavarian accent actually sounds like?
Foreign sounding?
So, he says, so's French.
German would be my guess. They have some kind of... it wouldn't be quite German, but, you know, you'd have a bit of that sound about it.
So you expect they're going to shout at us?
Hopefully not. I'm not educated enough to know the difference between Germany and Bavaria. Aside from the fact that I think they are trying to separate themselves politically and be their own country for a bit. I'm not going to presume Walter knows the word secede, and I don't want to reveal my education in using it. So, you know, but as usual, once the corporations come in, no one's moving unless they say so. So I presume they probably have adopted whatever dialect and customs Germany have, and so I presume there's probably some Germanness in their accent.
Last time he was in Germany, it was a mess.
Oh, when were you last in Germany?
About 5 years ago. Had a job out that way. Didn't work out well.
Yeah. I was reading some news articles about that a while back. If I remember, it wasn't necessarily a voluntary occupation.
Well, when you've got debts to pay, you'll take whatever's going.
That's true. And unfortunate for the residents of said...
We know much of the background of Walter.
You know, Walter is a former Shadowrunner.
Right, okay.
And the reason he's in the Banshee as the barman is because, well, it's one of the places furthest from he used to do all his running.
Yeah.
Unlikely to run into any corporate types.
Yeah, no, it's the corporate types, you're better off staying away from them.
Unless they're playing.
I presume nothing exciting happens. We pass happy hour.
You have a relaxing happy hour. You see a bunch of people come in, happy to see Womp and Bolt. A whole bunch of people shouting them drinks.
And Flogger?
Quite a few people look at Flogger and shake their head.
Isn't he the Dance champion?
He is the Dance champion. And he has sometimes danced and stomped the wrong way.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So...
He also pissed off some banshees as well.
Did he?
A group called the Banshees.
Oh, okay. But not Banshee Bar people.
Not
Banshees.
Though he is one of the few people here who has one-punched a corporate and gotten the bar under the eyes of the police.
Pretty sure Walter didn't object to this personally, But in terms of the bar, it was a little bit more complications than they wanted.
Well, the old barman went to jail, and that's when Walter took over.
Job opportunity then.
Partly. He was sort of filling in, and then it sort of become a permanent gig. Bit hard to, keep out of the limelight if the police show up and scan your IDs.
It is
I don't remember what job we were doing in that occasion, but I've got a vague picture in my mind that the barkeep then was a dwarf.
As was the check-in person.
Okay, yep.
And that was doing the dream chipper job.
Yes, that's right.
Because it was the junior, the son of the founder of the company, who got his head punched off.
Yes. Now, come back.
Do we know what the son did to earn getting his head punched off?
He pulled weapons on Flogger and Bolt.
Oh, well, that'll do it every time.
And tried to ambush them.
He was asking for that.
Yes and no. Problem is, you got a sin versus a sinless.
Well, I see the world on a more equal view, and if you're gonna be idiotic enough, whether you got a sin or not, to pull a gun on Bolt and Flogger, you're gonna die.
Yes, but there's still a difference between the legal interpretation and the practical interpretation of suicide.
Anyway.
Then you guys still got the trauma team who fronts up as well.
Unless we're getting into a dance competition, once happy hour's over,
You do see that there is karaoke on the Saturday.
Oh, I see. We might come back for karaoke tomorrow.
And the usual Sunday dance-off is scheduled, which is why a lot of people are giving Flogger the eyeball.
Oh, okay, so something for Flogger to look forward to. Once happy hour's over, I'll wait a few minutes past it just in case, and then I'll head back and give a lift or walk with anybody who wants to come with me.
Okay, so you end up passing about 4 days spending happy hour there.
Did anyone win the karaoke contest? Do we need to roll for that?
Did one of the characters want to attempt the karaoke contest?
What skill would you be using?
Performance?
Performance singing?
Yeah.
I would probably go with charm.
Yep, I'll have a go.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, we'll all have a go, right?
Okay, so amongst the group of you each having a go at doing it, apparently Tarlin won the prize.
Of course.
Yeah, if she's good at
If she's going, then
I'm going for second place.
Unfortunately, second place didn't get any ribbons or awards.
I
Yeah.
was just after having some fun. And I presume... Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just saying, as long as I'm up there showing that a troll can do nearly what good enough, as long as I beat a couple of elves, I'm happy.
I'm sure you can try to beat as many people as you like.
Not physically. That's Flogger's
Does
favourite
Walt
pastime.
get to say he beat some elves at the karaoke?
He can, but that would probably be he beats Desrin because Desrin doesn't enter.
Don't be mean to Womp. Of course Desrin doesn't enter.
He may not beat Shadow because Shadow is quite good, and even though there are elves in the region, there's not a lot of elves in the region. Well, actually, he's got a better charm than Shadow, so he would have beaten Shadow.
There you go. I'm happy to be beaten by someone.
Right.
Karaoke.
Currently, on the normal joke of dance is based on charm, you wouldn't beat Desmond.
Are
about
you
like
saying that you're gonna sing, Desrin?
Desmond probably would have did a duet with Carla.
Charlie.
That's cheating.
Yeah, no, that's cheating.
Well, considering Desrin's charm, then apparently he paid off the bouncer to be able to do a duet.
Yep.
And gets to claim second place.
There you go.
Cheat.
Oh, look, Womp, you beat Shadow, you're doing good.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't brag about it. Well,
No,
Desmond does.
I don't. I'm just to have fun, and so I sang an 80s song saying elves just want to have fun.
And Tarlin does the whole signing pictures for her adoring fans.
Yeah, that's going to lead to more problems later. Alright, so 4 days pass?
Oh, she's not going down the music side job now.
She might do, but we'll leave it up to her.
And with the dance, there was a draw between Flogger and a orc.
Oh, another.
Is that Ogre again?
It was Ogre again.
Ogre.
Mm-hmm.
Is Ogre a street samurai?
You have no idea. She doesn't flirt with you.
She's in there to...
No, she's flirting with bloody Flogger.
Flogger, yeah.
Nope, she comes to dance.
Yeah.
She just dance. That's all she wants to do.
And she seemed to enjoy the dancing quite a lot.
So if it's 4 days, would it be Monday night then? Or Tuesday?
It will be Monday night.
Monday. Okay, so on Monday, after all the dancing and the singing, when we're a little bit hungover from all of the happy hours, we turn up.
Okay, so after getting your usual at the Banshees, you have you notice a trio of hired muscle men, because they definitely have that whole beefcake look to them.
Okay.
Saunter into the bar, waving pictures of Shadow while you're still working for the corporations around.
Okay.
Saying that they need to speak with this person. And Walther sort of gestures you all into the back room because, he generally has these things off for the locals.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. It's a good thing I'm cloaked and hooded right now, even though once in the back room, of course, I will address them.
So in the back room, he doesn't send them in the back room.
Oh,
he
just
sends you
us.
guys in the back room.
Yeah.
He's basically actually convinced me you saying, hey, who are these idiots coming into my bar looking after my regulars?
Yeah.
I'll just put the regulars off to the side and we'll find out what's happening before
Okay.
we go further. So,
So in the back room,
even better.
you see a lot of faded posters of Bossomy, German blondes, and sports stars, all clutching foaming mugs. You do see the Bavarian barrel that he's given each of you some drinks from, still sitting in the side.
Yeah.
with the tap in it.
Yeah.
Not stocked in the bar.
Yeah.
And see a lot of souvenirs from Germany hanging around the ceilings.
So Walter, obviously, or someone who hangs out in the back room of Banshees, is got a lot of connections to Germany and or Bavaria.
Well, Walter did some work there.
He did.
Yeah.
He did in Germany, he said.
Yeah.
He didn't
And
say how long he was working there.
most Shadowrunners don't give details.
No, that's. I wasn't asking for any either because
But by the looks of
I
things,
respect him.
he was probably there for 20 or 30 years.
Yeah.
And not long after, a bar girl opens the door and lets you know that the people have been dealt with.
Oh, okay.
And as you wander out, you see the beefcakes unconscious on the floor.
Nice job, Walter. Thanks.
As you see Walter going through their stuff.
Yep.
He asks, you know them Drex?
I don't. I don't know if I was expecting a job from him. Can I have a look at the can I have the pictures they have?
Well, they don't have any pictures, but he pulls out a sealed envelope which looks to be expensive paper.
Okay.
And paper at this sort of day and age seems very out of place.
Yeah.
And you can see Shadow Space Star in kaleidoscopic. Kaleidoscopic. Yep, I just couldn't get the words out. Ink.
Yep.
And he says, "I think this is for you."
It does look indeed as if this is for me. I thought they were waving photos of me.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, there was a fire, and all photos were lost in the fire.
That's good. I'm good. I'm good with that. I'll have a look at this envelope. They're just unconscious, right?
Sure.
Are they just unconscious?
I will bet they're unconscious, he says.
Okay. Look, they might be the lead to my job. I don't know.
By the way they talked, they're nobody's lead. Even Flogger would be able to outsmart most of them.
Okay, well in that case they're just the messengers, and it's unfortunate for them that they delivered the message so badly. I might just, if you don't mind me imposing upon your hospitality, I might duck back into this back room here to have a look at this, if that's okay.
Sure.
I'll go back into the back room with whoever might still be there, and open up my special envelope.
Question before we get into that.
Yep.
Did we get a glance at the photos that were being flashed around before we got put in the back room?
Slight glance, and it did resemble a younger, more useful looking Shadow.
Okay. There's good thing to the fact that, hang on. Whoever sent these guys presumably had contact with Shadow in some way before she left the corporate world.
Pre Robin Hooding.
Yeah, unfortunately, you didn't get close enough a look to see which corporation she was dressed as.
Okay.
I will open my envelope in the back room.
Okay, inside the envelope is a white card, laser engraved with abstract filigree and scripted in the same dizzy ink as your name on the outside. It reads, "The place, after, the time, 9 tonight. The reason, a job offer."
The place after. So a place called After.
That's what you believe.
Right. 9 o'clock and a job. Okay. Presume it's somewhere between 5 and 6.
What was that? The time?
Yeah.
It said 9.
Right now it's between
No,
5 and
the
6.
current time is still happy hour.
It's still
Yeah.
happy hour.
So we've got about 3 hours to find After. Have you heard of After?
No, it's not a thing that leaps to your mind.
Okay. Can I do a quick search for After and see if it turns up in the phone book, so to speak?
Okay, a quick search, you find it is a club in downtown.
Okay, alright. That's doable, but we might have to change.
Yeah, we have
what
to
kind
change.
of club is it?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
It gives an address.
Okay.
It doesn't have a matrix presence.
Okay. At least a change in clothes, probably a level up from bar gear.
And it appears to be one of the few places that is not racist in downtown.
How do you know it's not racist?
It has no disclaimers on there saying things like no horns,
Orks,
no horns, no shoes, no service.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Alright, I'll tuck the envelope away in my jacket and
Womp would recognise it being one of the posh clubs not far from the University of Washington. So posh he hadn't made it in yet.
And I'll let the others know. Well, the Johnson's gonna be at this club called After in downtown at 9, so I suggest we finish our drinks and get a change of clothes and maybe
your
make our
best
way
clothes.
downtown. Sorry?
Your best clothes.
Yes, best clothes. Because did you say you recognised it as?
Yeah, I haven't been able to get in that yet.
Okay. We're gonna have to get Flogger's curtain suit out.
No, go on. David's got a good suit for Flogger.
Okay. And did we get one for Bolt as well? I thought we got a flash suit for Bolt too.
We can come up with one good enough, pick it up, we need to.
Alright, so we'll get the Flogger and the Bolt cleaned up?
Yeah, on the idea that, yes, a Flogger at least, like, well, definitely content for the Flogger suit would be the sorts of things that, like, yes, Mafia bodyguard wears.
Yeah.
Black suit, black suit.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we got Bolt, the Bolt version of that, which is black suit, black glasses that Bolt can wear, and
well, in downtown, Bolt might prefer to be in large dog form rather than half human or half dog.
well, does Bolt want to practice being human?
Bolt doesn't particularly like human form normally. So.
Does Bolt want to practice being human?
Because you missed the beginning of the session, I was explaining in the sort of the week interim that Bolt's been at Trixie's. He's been practicing his more human form often, and while he still doesn't like it, it is growing on him. So he hasn't learned it quite as much. It does have some merits, only a couple, but yes.
Well, if Bolt needs a suit, we can get a suit in a few hours to Bolt, no problem.
You also notice that Bolt has a dog friend that shows up fairly often, almost as big as Bolt.
Oh, Bolt! Is this a new puppy companion?
And we shall call him Nut.
I'm not sure.
He's the companion's eyes sort of point to that part of Womp that Womp just announced.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's not going to be nut and bolt. Fair enough.
Gabriel was privately thinking, whatever you want to call, don't call her Wafter.
Yes,
Or mention the B word.
what, brother? Or
No, palm.
oh, bum. Hey, Bolt doesn't mind water. Particularly now that we have clean water, that we can bathe in. Not that he bathes very often, but
But anyway, except we can get people together dressed appropriately, or at least as well as they can be. It's certainly not all that difficult. I presume people have fake fins these days that are at least good enough to let them drive around downtown. So,
I was mostly going to let Bolt introduce his new animal companion in case he had a name for his animal companion that he chose, and I believe Emmy's picked specifically an animal companion as an addition to her upgrades.
yes.
Yep. Does
I haven't thought of a name yet.
Okay.
Because I wasn't sure if he would show up.
Well, I knew from listening to you upgrade that, for lack of better description, you had a brand new toy, and since Martin introduced it, I didn't know if you wanted the opportunity to introduce your brand new toy just yet, or if you wanted to leave it for when you've had some time to think about how that's going to work.
Bolt probably introduces him as his brother, but you probably take that with a grain of salt, because Bolt probably thinks every dog in existence is his brother, because he had lots of brothers and sisters where he came from.
Yes. This isn't quite the same genetically modified version.
And you do realise this other dog seems a lot smarter than Bolt.
Probably, yes.
Okay. So we can legitimately get an assistance dog verification for this situation, because it's Bolt thinking brain dog.
Yes. He shall wear a cute little jacket saying, "Working dog, please do not pat me."
Assistant dog, please leave alone.
Yeah. Alright, so go back to the apartment.
So does this mean that Bolt is considering going to the meet with dark glasses and a cane and the lead?
Yeah, sounds like a good plan. I gotta test out being human, right?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta have. Trucy's been encouraging me to have real world applications, and I've only had like 2, I think.
Yeah, so it's important that Bolt gets practice being a real human, and the dog's there to point out the problems. Point out where you're failing.
Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of that, Mom, is there gonna be like a character, or is there like an animal companion stat sheet?
You'll find out.
I'll find out. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so
Remember, and the longer that it doesn't have a stat sheet, the longer it can't die.
That is also true.
Considering where you're going, you guess that taking the training is probably better than trying to park.
Yeah. So we'll get back, get changed, catch train.
Yep. And you notice the improvement already on the way in because apparently Bolt's puppy is able to pinch Bolt's link and actually scan Bolt through the turnstile.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Puppy's doing a good job.
The dog
I
says
will
they
tell my
Bolt
car
happy
where I
unit.
am in case there's an emergency. I always like to let my car know where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Although my car probably can find me based on my locator.
It probably could.
While we're getting ready and on our way type stuff, Declan will ask Shadow if he can have a look at the card and the envelope.
The Joker card or the card that
No, the card you just received.
just received. Is there any identifying information on there about my corporations?
It does not have anything about the corporations on there.
Yeah, I'll pass it over.
Declan mainly just get looking at it with this type of eye again, just to see if there seems to be any connection between the style of script or font that was used, or the or like is there any connection with the Bavarian card, or the writing that was on the card.
You do pick up a bunch of inconsistencies on this card as well. And it translates to job is non-negotiable with a what appears to be a joker underneath it.
Right. Hello.
I think this might be a direct message to Desrin about trying to negotiate on price.
I was going to say, because technically, the wording there, like when Martin first said non-negotiable, I thought, okay, so we've got to take the job. When I thought, actually, not worse than that, we've got to take the job when it's offered.
Yeah. that I believe that's Harliquin saying, don't try and get more money on this one. You're going to get what you get paid.
Okay, so getting into finding yourself at after doesn't take too long. You don't end up having any bad turns, as apparently your guide dog's quite good at finding places. Maybe he read the map.
I'm wondering if whether or not the puppy has a higher intelligence than everybody else in the party.
Maybe not everyone in the party, but certainly higher than Bolt by the sounds of it.
So, we need to get one of these dogs for Flogger, right?
The dog just looks at you and you have that look of fear in its eyes.
Look, no, I wasn't seriously meaning that I was going to expose a dog to Flogger's other half. I wouldn't do that. It would be...
The idea that the dog actually
Understood.
is seemingly more fearful of Flogger, not just because he's a big troll, but possibly because the dog recognises the presence of the other, is kind of disturbing.
It says to me that the dog is a very special animal indeed.
Well, considering what Bolt is, would you expect Bolt to have a mundane dog?
But actually, obviously, from Jake's perspective, that makes something apparently happening to him, but it's not something he's dealing with. But yes, as a player, I was going to get images of Mouse from the
Dresden Files.
Dresden Files, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you reach the doors open as you approach. Apparently you're expected. First time that Womp has actually seen in the place, no matter how many times he's walked past it.
Must be one of those in-flight only areas.
It is.
And you are gestured right in. Coming inside, the place looks like a bomb hit it. But then you see that's actually the decorative motif.
Okay.
Little nooks for meeting and dining are nestled within craters in the floor, and rubble is strewn around for effect. The chairs and tables are deformed as through partially melted, but the flowing forms remain usable. The smell of ozone is sharp in the air, and the lighting is dim except for blinding flashes to simulate nuclear detonations.
The title after is After the Cataclysm.
Arcing wires protrude from shattered walls, contributing with their crackles and sparks to the club's eerie ambience. Not many people are present, most are huddled in small groups within the crater nooks discussing politics or philosophy with manic ardor. And you hear someone say, "If you please be seated," and it's a lone figure seated at a table to which you have been taken to. Her breathless accent is definitely French, especially the way she trills her R's. Two pointed almond ears protrude from her elegantly coiffed golden hair. However, her neo-European business suit and the two goons watching intently from the adjacent nook mark her as corporation.
How many seats and what size seats have we got at the table? Everybody, including two big ones?
There is seating for normals, and there's concrete for trolls.
So uncomfortable chairs for the trolls, unfortunately.
It doesn't look like it would actually be painful to sit on.
Okay.
It's just the chairs they have in this place would not support a troll.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And she says, I enjoyed the way you received my invitation, she says. You've come highly recommended, and I have no doubt the job I have for you will be one of the easiest you've ever been offered.
I'm always
like an easy job.
Red flag.
Womp and I are hitting red flags here.
Okay. They're good, given the flippant comment, I'd always like an easy job.
First, you are to make a pickup. There is a certain book that is overdue, and you shall collect it for us.
We can do collection.
Second, you're to make a delivery, but it's to the same place as the first. The object to be delivered is a simple vase, locked tight and quite harmless.
So all part of the package.
The fact that you will be required to journey overseas should be no problem for seasoned runners like yourself.
I presume Bavaria?
That's a good guess, she says.
Declan specifically does not respond to that statement, thinking,
all travel arrangements have been made, and I can provide complete information about your destination.
That is appreciated.
Are you happy to accept the job?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, so the travel arrangements will take you by transorbital flight to Berlin, then by bullet and conventional train to Mutchermessien, a tiny hamlet on the eastern fringes of Bavaria. To keep from raising anyone's suspicions, you'll have to leave most of your equipment behind. Once in Bavaria, everything will be provided for you. During the journey, you should pretend to be ordinary tourists. The target of the break-in and delivery is a castle in the German village of Schloss Mutchermessien, and you're given a complete map of the castle grounds, but she cannot provide floor plans for the individual buildings. The medieval home of the Baron Mutchermessien is set atop of a mountain cliff, and visitors arrive there via aerial tramway this time of year. Low-flying vehicles are strictly prohibited within the Baron's domain.
Sounds like a very interesting and challenging job.
And the tome you're collecting is an ancient book believed to be kept in the Baron's personal library on an upper floor of the castle's keep. It is a medieval manuscript, nearly 15 centimetres thick, bound between wooden covers that are 30 centimetres square. Despite the tome's sturdy construction and great weight, age has made it delicate. Mr. Johnson urges that the runners bring it back in mint condition. You will recognise the book in two ways. First, the cover is engraved with the title Pandemoculus Faustus, and below that with the subtitle Collectiones Occulta. Second, the front space depicts the archdemon Asmodeus. The illustration uses the long-lost mosaic art that makes the blood-red ink appear to be wet.
Very intriguing and
Can I make
interesting.
a roll for that title?
You could, but you'll get to do that soon.
Yep.
And the vials that you need to take, she shows you the grey vials to, but does not give it to you. She says she'll have it pre-checked into the flight as part of your luggage. The aluminum satchel is only 20 centimetres by 25 centimetres, but is heavy for its size. Bright red markings declare it to contain perishable medical supplies. And a tiny digital readout embedded in the handle reads 250, which is to be the which makes out to be the temperature inside it in degrees Kelvin.
I was going to say, is that Fahrenheit?
Valves in the bottom of the
Celsius?
case occasionally leaks small amounts of cold, cloudy vapor, which quickly dissipate. And it is securely locked.
Yeah. 250 Kelvin's about minus 20 odd degrees centigrade.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's pretty cold. I wouldn't have been able to guess minus 20, but I know it's cold.
She says the flight departs at 6 in the morning and is the only one scheduled to Berlin for several days.
Well, we better get ready and get out there on time. I gather we don't need any passports or SINs of our own?
She suggests you your ID should be enough to get you on there, as long as you don't have criminal records in Germany.
I don't believe any of us have committed any crimes in Germany.
Yeah, she says. The week is young, she says.
Yeah. Not up until soon.
And the payment for this is 40,000 credits each, and with 10,000 now, and the rest upon delivery.
That's all very agreeable.
Dexter will make a token effort to negotiate this for the form stage. With the not the intent to actually change
I
the
don't
value.
know. On seeing Desrin even start, what reaction time do I get for elbowing him in the ribs?
You can quite easily elbow him in the ribs because he always seems to take a deep breath before going into those speeches.
Yeah. I'm like, all of that is very clear. Hopefully you do not think us rude, but we will take our leave so that we can make sure that we're ready to catch that plane on time.
Okay, so she puts out 8 cred sticks.
Yep. I will grab
And
them up
so
to hand them out.
each of them has a name on them.
Yep, I'll hand them to people so that there's not 8 hands grabbing for the cred sticks.
Out of curiosity, and again, it's got how many characters you've got in it's got now. Do 8 include the dog, or is the dog separate?
Well, when you look at Bolt's one, it seems to also have provision for guide dog.
Right, okay. Obviously, a Johnson who's well in the know of us.
And they even have some of your likes and dislikes in the suborbital. Such as Bolt is in an aisle seat, not the window seat.
Yeah, I'll be in the non-backstabbing section.
You have a non-backstabbing section on a plane?
Flogger and Womp have to travel business class.
That's unsurprising.
Because they won't fit into the economy seats.
Yeah.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, what's it take to upgrade from economy to business?
Well, Shadow has the first class seating.
Oh, do I? Oh, I'm not going to sneeze at that.
And everyone else has economy.
Oh, well, sucks to be Desiree. Almost said that without laughing. Not quite.
Well, the point is, from Deidre's perspective, it's not like he's got any understanding of what economy versus business versus first class is when you're talking flying.
Business, I've got leg room. You don't.
Well, it's also a suborbital, which none of you have been on before.
No, haven't. New experiences for everyone.
The only thing is, from my understanding, it's fast.
It leaves the atmosphere. Yeah. It's that fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Womp was going to make a check on the information you'd been given, and
yeah, is it law or foreboding?
It is society.
Society.
That gives you some information on the region, but
no, I'm not after the region. I'm after the book.
That would be forbidden.
Yep. I'll do a society one as well afterwards.
I was going to say,
because I would probably also try to work out what the laws are in that area.
Yeah, that's it. I wanna see what the laws are. Any customs that I need to be aware of, like local customs as well as custom restrictions.
Well, you do know you won't be able to take any weapons with you.
No, I'm not planning to take any weapons, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to take my wand. Because I usually have that hidden in the lining of my jacket.
You could probably get away with the wand, mainly because it's not made out of metal.
Yeah, it's a bone wand.
But it may pick up on some of their scans.
That's
hey,
why I want
you might
to
have to declare them customs if you phone.
Yeah. I may have to leave it behind. But
some woods and organic matter can't be taken between a lot of borders.
Yeah.
So Ross, I'm going to do your knowledge of the book.
Yeah, is there an upgrade available?
There is.
Yep, I'll do that as well.
They get you a green dice.
Yes, sir, correct.
That's the second time you've dropped blast again.
My hands aren't doing so well.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get a triumph, 2 successes, and a threat. Okay, so you have heard that this is probably one of the more interesting books out there. You heard it in your forbidden class. Just trying to see if I can actually read the information on the book. Okay, so the book itself is said to be very old. Predates magic, but seems to have magic capacity.
From my understanding, if that predates magic, that means it's actually a lot older than being made in the 1400s.
And it may simply be someone has translated stuff from something else.
Yeah.
and it could go bad. You definitely want to protect it because taking it through changing environments may just cause it to deteriorate.
Would that be what the suitcase is for, or is to put it in there?
You doubt it.
So the suitcase is what we're putting in exchange.
The valise is what we're delivering, i.e. the ears we collected on the previous run.
Yeah.
Like we delivered the front page of the book that we collected from the one before that.
Yeah. So
the book does not go into the valise.
Do we need to acquire some sort of case for this book that we could safely transport it in?
You have the dimensions. You could literally build a custom case over there.
Yeah. So that's one of the things we need to be ready for.
Yeah, you wouldn't want
to try something that I would like to read.
You wouldn't want to take the case with you because it would look suspicious.
Yeah. What about the case that we've got with us with our elven ears?
You won't get that until you reach your destination.
So that's going to be...
That's being sent separately.
It's only Jeremy's guess that it has elven ears in it.
Oh, well, whatever it's got in it.
That's good contestants. We saw we could see what was inside the envelope. You can... Yeah, okay. What we need to keep it? Negative 20 degrees centigrade? And what do we not want to have to transport intercontinental if we can avoid it?
I'll have to leave my wand behind, I think, because I don't want to risk it jeopardizing the thing. They're giving us the case with the Kelvin.
With the thing keeping things cool.
Cool. Once we're actually there, so after we get through customs and all that.
No, I think you said it was going into she was arranging you to go with that part. Like part of the package of our transport.
Yeah.
You get it at the other side of the plane trip.
Yeah, where we'll get gear and things like that because we'll have to leave all of our weapons and everything behind. We're going in there for our skill set, not for our tool case.
Well, we're going in there because apparently we're
highly recommended.
Shadowrun, highly recommended. Seasoned runners.
And so, Ross, you're going to do your society check on the Baron?
I was going to do something.
It was not on the Baron. Actually the area. Just wanting what laws and things like that it is.
Just doing it on Bavaria doesn't help you much because basically it is a multifaceted state with different regions and laws.
Okay, so in that case, then I have to do the region that the Baron, where the Baron.
Yeah, I was going to do it on the name that she gave us. I can't remember.
Baron Much Marson.
Yeah.
Masusen.
I don't think it's Munchausen.
It's very close. It is Munchmaussen.
Munchmassen.
Which is why I didn't think I was butchering it too much saying it.
No, you weren't. It changed for you.
It was sounding vague to me. I didn't think it for me. And then we were like, hang on, I'm thinking of Munchausen.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if Womp actually knows much.
I was gonna muff it up even more and say Munch Muffin, but then I realised that it's S's, not F's.
Womp has not a clue anything about that place.
I was also gonna have a look into it. Society. I don't know what my society check is, but since she's mentioned it.
Your society is 5 green.
It says upgrade, I'll upgrade. This bell book sounds pretty serious. So I'm pretty sure the guy who we're reclaiming it from is going to be pretty serious to deal with too.
This sounds like this is in dragon territory.
Oh, probably.
Okay, so you ended up with 5 successes.
Oh, well that sounds...
So you do know that Baron Muchmarsen rules the tiny Bavarian domain of Muchmarsen, which is, conveniently his name.
Yeah.
Which consists of a single valley. His castle overlooks the village Muchmarsen.
Okay.
The Baron was once a big spender in a jet setter known for the Riviera to the Alps. He has not been seen about in recent years, having apparently become a recluse in his castle.
Yep.
He is a troll. Muchmarsen is crafty as a fox, says his enemies. He has managed to stay out of politics that keep his nation in turmoil, and is said to keep a tight rein on his subjects. So you actually knew quite a bit about him with your society.
Okay. Yeah.
Partly because, well, you did deal with society as a corporate.
Look, I'm just hoping he's not a vampire.
Well, it would suck if he was a vampire.
Yeah,
Especially in Shadowrun, because it's really bad.
Yeah.
Well, technically, he can't be a vampire if he's a troll. If he's infected with the human metahuman vampiric virus, he becomes je ne crois.
Okay, so...
Which is much better.
A what? Sorry? You
used too many words for
Look, I'm happy with trolls can't be vampires.
Let me guess, either way he explodes in sunlight.
But actually, well, that's certainly not coming to death with no side. Sorry, that was player knowledge. So,
okay,
so... so when we get back to the Barrens and stuff, David's going to have another quick trip over to the Banshees to have a talk to Walter, the only known expert he's aware of German society and things like that. To have a talk about the idea, hey, I'm currently going to be zipping over to Germany, Bavaria tomorrow morning. Any advice? Any information?
Yeah, he says dress like a tourist.
What do tourists dress like?
He goes obnoxious Americans.
Okay.
Bawdy colours, non-matching stuff, wearing what appears to be crappy teams, and people will be so busy trying to lie and connive to you that they'll have no idea who you are or what you're doing.
So I'm thinking cheap Hawaiian shirts for everybody. No?
He says that would work, but he would recommend...
I'm not with Desrin, sorry. Desrin said that he's going to go to Banshees.
His recommendation is pick the bottom of the rungs football team and go on about how great your team is.
Okay.
Yeah, but hang on.
Did you say something then, Jeremy? We might have missed it.
I was saying, next to that, he says, yeah, okay, great, I can do that. Oh, hang on. Does the Germans have the same football as we do?
No, but it will just confuse them, and when they look up stuff, trying to verify stuff, they'll just think that you're an easier mark.
I will, are there any late night stores?
Oh, there's the Barons never sleep.
Okay. I presume.
And we always stock the losing teams out here because no one else wants them.
I presume, Desrin, when you went to Banshees, you were okay with us coming along?
Oh, yeah, that's really fun for mine.
I will suggest on our way home to pack, we stop at a late night store and buy tourist gear, including some troll sized.
You mean like the stuff shack, Jason's?
Yeah.
Stuffer Shack. Basically, crash course in German.
We could probably pick up some doodads for Jane while we're there.
Yeah, Jane's problem is that half the addiction is the buying. So if you do it on her behalf, it doesn't alleviate the symptoms. She's got to do it herself. So I presume we bump into Jane on our way into Stuffer Shack to get football t-shirts.
This time you don't.
For the group. What football team is Bolt and Flogger picking?
Is there one that has like a dog logo?
I'm sure there is a dog logo, and it looks like a bulldog.
Close enough.
You sure there's not a Huskies football team?
Well, there would be a Huskies, there would be a Timberwolves, there would be...
Well, there you go. We'll go with the Huskies or Timberwolves. Timberwolves probably for Bolt.
The Timberwolves have been doing quite well in this year's football.
Well,
There you go.
Bolt Bolt knows what he's doing.
My guide dog helps me, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm surprised your guide dog hasn't picked out your clothes for you.
He's probably led me over to the Timberwolves.
Right.
Desmond doesn't need to actually buy any support for jerseys type stuff. He's going to go with a slight variation on what the Nike is. Rather than going football, he's going for the preferred what's the shadow, the roller derby.
The bike combat.
Yeah, basically that particular league, that competition. So
Roller derby?
No, it's where they pretty much do a combat bike.
Okay. Yeah.
Sport.
Yeah.
And people die in that because they get shot.
Yep.
Okay. And it's certainly one the same. Desmond can certainly rattle off quite happily and that kind of thing if anyone ever asked him. And it's come up. So he's working on that idea as supporter.
I figure the football teams are probably good for Womp, not Womp, Flogger and Bolt, presuming that they're happy with that. I don't know what Womp wants to do.
Just put my Manchester United.
I will.
You blind to
like with the cat.
So what? Flogger wants a wolf team.
Actually, no. I want the biggest, floppiest hat.
I was just saying, there's Bolt one flog. You got Wolverhampton Wanderers. They got a wolf. You're going through English.
But it's probably recommended they go with American teams on the idea that they're more likely to have understanding of.
Yeah.
What could certainly go with Manchester United because obviously he's got an understanding and awareness of the.
That's football. That's not NFL or whatever.
So Ross, the instruction was to pretend to be a obnoxious American tourist.
Yeah, but I was going to be English tourist.
That is perfectly fine, but I was just going by what instructions Desmond picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go floppy hatted. And won't quite dress up in the football teams because I know nothing about it. Whereas if they ask Bolt who the Timberwolves are, Bolt will go dog football team win good sort of thing, and they'll be fine. Whereas if they ask me who I go for and that, I won't pass that. But I can at least be an obnoxious one of those sort of Florida type tourists. So I'll be going for the big beach floppy hat and the wavy kimono-y roby type
And the ineffective auto translation software.
Yeah, that kind of annoying American lady tourist.
You speak into it and it screams at the other person.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And I think if you talk louder, they'll understand you more. And I'll have like the brokenest German ever.
Well, it's German. It's in German, so yeah.
Okay, so you have no trouble getting through security to get to your suborbital.
Other question that I do have for you,
Yeah.
does Desmond think that he can get his suit through?
Well, the thing is, he can bring it with him whenever he needs it. He never actually, he hasn't technically taken it off since he first put it on.
Oh, okay, right. I thought it was technically one that yes, it would be, it gets all the way in the case half the time, but...
You can literally take it off, but if you take it off, then you have to go through the effort of putting it back on before you can summon it back.
Yeah, well, I'd like that was the expectation, but if it's the sort of thing that effectively, well, I mean, how obvious is it when you start wearing it normally? Is that like full biker suit that I'm imagining?
It fits in with the combat bikers quite easily, and is quite noticeable as a combat suit. So basically, with your whole suit up ability, you can summon it from the case if you also desummon it.
Yeah.
Which is why it swaps all your gear out.
Yeah, so that's what I would have thought was the fact that it was the sort of thing that he wasn't necessarily wearing it all the time. Well, obviously around the Barrens, you could wear it quite happily all the time in combat. You'd be wearing combat biker suit. But travelling, even going downtown type stuff, I'm assuming that he's not actually wearing it downtown, knowing that he can get it on him, and that's when he might be stuck up in the penthouse suite of a dragon building created into a big mountain shop. He can hide in the corner and summon his suit to him because he's not wearing it at the bit when he walked in. So, yeah.
Okay.
He will have his suit available. If a recognisable combat gear that he probably can't really do it as carry on, but he'll certainly pack it in luggage.
Mm-hmm. And what I was getting at, Jeremy, is you don't have to have it nearby to you when you summon it. You have been able to summon it across the city before, and you believe you can actually summon it from anywhere.
Yeah. Did you think there would be a problem with you trying to get it through luggage?
Yes.
It does. Okay.
So is this like the Tony Stark thing when he's summoning all his bits and pieces?
You've never seen him do it.
But yeah, okay. If it's not going to be able to get through security and
it's also very iconic. So if people see it, they will recognise it for what it is.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Happy with that. We'll leave it behind for the time being, and maybe someone that's good enough will get there available. Like a hand.
So you end up going through a slow walk through security. You see that Bolt gets ribbon tied to his assistant dog. And while most of you are waiting through line, you see that Shadow gets the priority line. Well, first class always seems to get better service.
Yep.
Shadow's keeping to her role of being an obnoxious American tourist.
And you get your choice of champagne, wine, tea, or coffee, while being escorted through the whole security aspects.
I will choose coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's 6 a.m. in the morning, and even though I'm an obnoxious American tourist, I'm pretty sure they don't drink at 6 o'clock in the morning.
It's a lot nicer than Trixie's, and that's hard to believe.
Yeah, it is hard to believe.
Obviously, they don't grow it in this country.
Probably not, no. Trixie is limited in her resources, so We've got to give her that.
But up until now, Trixie's was the best coffee you had.
I make a mental note to take jobs that require flying more often.
Okay, you see that your shuttle for today is the Mitsubishi Skyclimber, one of the new fuel-efficient transorbitals. It has a shark tooth emblem of Lufthansa Airlines painted on the side. Gives the passenger plane an oddly predatory look. Getting on board, you see that it has space for less than about 80 odd passengers, and that there only seems to be about 40 odd people getting on board.
Okay, that's a low number of people.
Most of them are assigned just behind the first class section, next to one of the air steward stations.
So it's business class?
While the front rows are business class and the rows right behind them are the economy.
Right.
With your seat being just in front of business class.
How's Flogger doing on a plane?
Well, he is.
Can he be unconscious? Because I don't want him to try to open the doors.
It is up to Flogger.
We should ask Flogger what Flogger would like to do. Hello, Josh.
Flogger might be asleep. Ross will get his wish after all.
Good, somebody spiked his milk.
Apparently it is mainly too early for Flogger.
Yeah. I am human, but yeah, it's getting a bit late. Sorry.
All good. So, you make it to your seat pretty well and then just fall asleep in the seat as people are putting all the straps on to hold you in place.
We only started at 8 o'clock, so it's technically on time, but because of the hour late start, we're a bit later.
So
something that that's good to me as a player that I would hope that all the characters are aware of, noting having basically active or effectively aware characters we have in the party. And I'm not saying Declan would be aware of this because he's been avoiding the negative stuff. But this got subaudible flight. It goes outside the atmosphere. Magicians be aware. Don't try and contact the actual space in any way when you're in space.
Alright. I can't do that at the moment.
I'm intelligent enough to know that I wouldn't be doing that.
Well, if anyone who makes full pain would be aware.
Magicians know all about that.
Would Bolt be smart enough to understand that part?
Bolt hadn't quite gone through that level of instruction.
I think if the GM will allow it, Shadow will have talked to Bolt about not contacting her primal shamanistic side during the flight because it would be dangerous to them.
When I talk about contacting astral, that potentially even includes casting spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, we'll have to rely on Shadow's martial capacity.
Don't try and actually challenge you with us.
No.
Okay, so as we are getting quite late, I thought I would finish it off for you guys. So there are all the seats are individual light acceleration couches. Strapping in process involves so many webs and buckles that most of you are intimidated by the amount of strapping required. The tray arm is built into the seat and includes a video display and an input jack. And at that point I will have the passengers arriving be next session, as we are just hitting 11 o'clock, and I know some of the players will be falling over by now. As you will start next session with a flight to the stars and back. Not quite to the moon and back, but We'll work on that for next time.
Yeah, the stars is the furthest I'll ever go, so I'm happy with that.
But hey, the ability to get on one of these things is quite restricted. So the fact that you got bookings that allowed you to get on board was quite a bucket list item for most of you.
Really big ticket item.
It's not only the economic bucket list, it's just beyond imagination. It just wouldn't be beyond imagination a few years ago.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
It's expanded a bit recently.
Yep, and
we have to do a lot of selfies.
well, that's what you'll be doing touristing for while you're over there.
Yeah.
It also gives you leave to take photos of things you shouldn't have because you're tourists.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of silly photos of Shadow with Bolt and Flogger and them making silly faces, and Bolt's companion dog having a very serious face at Bolt's very silly face.
Does that mean Shadow is exposing his face significantly?
I'm wearing a disguise, so it's not my real face.
Okay.
I don't know, or you might not remember. There's like a series of photos that's kind of like a meme, like of a trooper ranger from Canada with his sniffer dog, and there's like a series of 4 photos where like the first 3 are all like silly photos with the dog, and then there's like the serious photo.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like that.
Whereas in Shadow's case, the sunglasses are almost bigger than her face, and she's wearing a very well put on wig, and she's got disguise level makeup on that will basically, hopefully, help her from being digitally identified from cameras when she does have to take off her sunglasses and her hat. And basically the hat has got such a wide brim that you'd be lucky to see any of her face at any one time.
Okay, so we'll be ending the session. We'll be going to credits shortly, and we'll leave you with the fact that you'll be taking the Luftflood Flight 613 to Berlin, and it is a flight that takes not that long at all to get there. So you're talking about leaving Seattle at 6 and still arriving in Berlin in the early hours of the morning.
Oh wow, okay. Well, a couple of hours.
Oh, it might also be they've also possibly the time change differences too. So
There is that.
Yeah.
But the rotation will be such that you're still in morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like pretty cool. Very fast flight.
Okay, so I will chat to you afterwards. I will go to end credits, and we will be back shortly.